Hi students. In this session, we are discussing identification of good operating practices. All the thing in the BI, the goal and target is to achieve improvement in the performance of all units being compared. Whatever the units we are comparing to get the efficiency and to identify the efficient units, by that, we need to achieve the improvement in the performance. For this, we have to identifying and sharing good operating practices. This is the method to achieve improvement in the performance of all units. And you already discussed the data envelopment analysis. In this, by this method, we are identifying the efficient units, efficient DMUs. So, to for identification of good operating practices, the basic STEM principle is also the data envelopment analysis. So, by this data envelopment analysis, we are comparing and we are comparing the units and selecting the efficient units, and we are also identified inefficient units and mix inefficient units. By that, we are changing those and applying some methods, and again we are converting inefficient units into efficient units. So in this data development analysis, uh, however, among efficient units, there are also others may represent a target to be reached in improving the efficiency. So here, all the thing we need to do, we need to identify the efficient units. For the purpose of defining the best operating practices, to define the best operating practices, to for this is also the STEM ground principle is the data envelopment analysis, because it allows each unit to evaluate its own degree of efficiency by choosing the most advantageous structure of weights for the inputs and outputs. So, in the data envelopment analysis, we already seen this by the model, taking the inputs and associating them with the weights, and taking the output among the used inputs, we got the outputs and we associated the outputs with the weights. So in this way, a unit might appear efficient by purposely attributing a non-negligible weight only to a limited subset of inputs and outputs. So here, for some of the inputs and outputs, we are applying non-negligible weights. Those are might appearing in the might appear in the efficient units, but some of the inputs and outputs, those are receiving greater weights. Those are maybe less critical. So, in order to identify good operating practices in this session, we have to take convenient to detect the units that are really efficient. So, to differentiate these units, we have to resort a combination of different methods. Those methods are cross efficiency analysis, evaluation of virtual inputs and virtual outputs, and weight restrictions. So, first method, cross efficiency analysis. In this cross efficiency analysis, the analysis of cross efficiency is based on the definition of the efficiency matrix. This matrix provides, matrix means it's a square matrix or whatever the size. it is looking as a rows and columns. We are evaluating rows and columns. So this efficiency matrix provides information on the nature of the weights system adopted by the units for their own efficiency evaluation. So, the square efficiency matrix contains as many rows and columns as there are units being compared. So, in the data envelopment analysis, how many units we are compared, all those units are we are placing in rows as a rows and columns within the efficiency matrix. And in the previous model, the generic element we have seen for the optimization theta of ij. So this is the whenever we have a subscript values ij, it is a matrix representation. And in this session, the theta phi j is the matrix representation of the efficiency of DMU, which is evaluated through the optimal weights structure for DMU. So, whenever the DMU is efficient, its value is equivalent to 1. In other way, it exhibits a behavior specialized along a given dimension with respect to other units. So, in that case, the efficiency values in column corresponding to DMU will be less than 1. So, in this efficiency matrix, square matrix, we got two different quantities. Efficiency is equal to 1 and less than 1, two quantities. So, two quantities of interest can be derived from the efficiency matrix. So, the first quantity represents the average efficiency of a unit with respect to the optimal weight system for the different units. So we are obtained as the average of the values in the columns. Okay. Then the second quantity is also the average efficiency of a unit measured by applying its optimal system of weights to other units. And here, by taking these two quantities, later we are also obtaining by averaging the values in the rows associated with the unit being examined. So the difference between the efficiency score of DMU and the efficiency obtained as the average of the value uh, in the column provided an indication of how much the unit relies on a system of weights conforming with the one used by other units in the evaluation process. Now, virtual inputs and virtual outputs. The second method. Within the virtual inputs and virtual outputs, don't think high about the word virtual. Here, it is very simple, funny thing. 1 second, students. I'm pausing the video.